This movie is overperforming even more than Alita Angel. It came out the same weekend as Alita Battle Angel, and the movie was basically crushed by Infinity War. I'm not really a fan of Hellboy, but this movie is definitely over. This is, well, let's go to the first week. This would be the first week. Hellboy, this is okay. So, Hellboy is at 180,000 copies. So, 600,000 copies, 60,000 copies should be the actual number for Hellboy. But we divide that by the amount it actually sold its first week. Hellboy is performing 0.46 times that of the average Blu-ray, and it's performing 0.46 at once. That's Blu-ray sales alone, not DVD sales. Blu-ray is alone. Hellboy is performing definitely way higher, especially compared to a film like Breakthrough, which is performing about average for a Blu-ray that sold a similar amount of copy, sold a similar amount of money in the box office, or movies that sold similar, so around 60,000 to 40,000 copies. Hellboy is performing 0.46% better than your average movie. It isn't a noticeable one, so let's just see. So let's just put average drop for a movie like that. So I'm gonna pull up a percentage calculator. So let's do an average drop of Hellboy versus another movie. Um, let's just put the average drop to around 24,000 because this is like the average kind of drop, a 60% drop or 70,000 drop. But Hellboy dropped 50%, so, and this is for a movie that didn't do too well at the box office either because nobody wanted to go see Hellboy the movie. This is how it would be. So the average would be around 84,000. Or let's just do a percentage drop because Blu-ray or the more waggy movies that do well waggy at the box office, like Oscar hits 40,000. But a movie like Hellboy that everybody that didn't get that got really bad reviews should really be performing like this. This is what Hellboy should really be performing at. So the average for this, let's just do a rounded number, 20,000. So 86,000. So Hellboy should really be at 86,000 its second week. But Hellboy is actually overperforming. That by that as well. Okay, so Hellboy is currently at this much. We're using rounded numbers. Before Hellboy is still performing 40% higher than it should be performing. So Hellboy is still performing higher than it still should be performing. 40% higher than it should be performing. Or we will get a movie like Alita, which movies around this number like Hellboy we had no comparison. So a movie like Power Rangers. So let's just say 3,000 times $85 million. Or 85. Alita should be performing around here, but Alita is still overperforming by 50,000. But Alita's opening was around this much because they made it go down. Alita is performing. That's different. That's different. That is the numbers wrong. Around 0.8% higher than your average movie that goes is around 80 million. Most movies it actually goes around 150,000 actually. So Alita's performing this much higher than average movie. That grosses $80 million. And if you put it at the second week, your typical drop here is around 75%. So your typical drop for a Blu-ray, any movie, would be around down like here. Would be down to like 65,000. So this is your typical drop, and let's just do a more rounded number, 60,000. 60,000 so I don't have to think as much. So let's just do 315,000 divided by the actual sales of 458,000 copies. Alita is performing higher than your average movie. Your average movie that goes around $85 million, like Power Rangers. I'm just using Power Rangers as a comparison because it goes the same amount of money. So Alita is performing 0.6%, no, 0.68% higher. Actually, it's 0.60, around 0.68% higher than Power Rangers is performing. So, Hellboy is definitely overperforming, because, Hellboy is a movie that didn't do too well. If you compare it to a movie like, okay, so what movie did a comparison? Okay, so let's look at the top box office of the year. So the box office. So let's go on the box office mojo. So looking on the numbers. Okay, so who's the box office for 2019? Daily box office. Do they have yearly box office? The 2019. 2019. Worldwide, I want domestic. They don't have domestic. They don't have one specifically for domestic for some reason. They have the weekend future market. They don't have one index. That's just every day. So let's just look at box office mojo and enter a movie that performed similarly to Hellboy. And this video is about Hellboy. Next video will be about Alita sales. But let's look at 2019 movies. Okay, so these movies are not our newer movies. So okay, this is a perfect comparison. Ugly Dolls. Ugly Dolls made around $25 million, and you look at the weekly Blu-ray sales. Ugly Dolls is performing similar to how I said movies around that range gross. Hellboy, this is Hellboy's first week, and this is Ugly Dolls. So Ugly Dolls is performing actually below the average for the amount. It's around 50,000, 70,000 at the max for these types of movies that goes only $20 million because nobody really wants to go buy them. No movie would be sad, but these are newer movies. Dog's Journey, Angry Birds Movie 2, you go to last year, previous year. Excluding Oscar winners, because Oscar winners are always going to do better. Overlord, another movie example. So, that didn't do too well at the box office. So, okay, so we're gonna use this movie as another example. Domestic. The movie did kind of underperform domestically too. And this is its first week, 55,000. So the average is around 55,000, 65,000. So Hellboy is overperforming on this here. So Hellboy, and Overlord actually is a similar type of movie to Hellboy. Like this movie is like an Oscar bait movie. That's probably why it will do better than similar movies. The Hellboy. No, not My Little Pony. Rough Night. Let's do compare it to Rough Night, which also flopped at the box office. And Rough Night actually did like the upside, and it came out. Everybody forgot about, and the Hellboy is overperforming at the home video market. These are comparison movies. Ugly Dolls and Overlord are more bigger movies than Rough Night. It was just another comedy that everybody forgot about. Overlord and Hellboy at least have a small fan base, but obviously on the internet, Hellboy as a series has a cult following. Online, even if you look up Hellboy as a cult following, it says it's a cult film. And Hellboy 2019 will become a cult classic, but considering by its Blu-ray sales here, it's obviously gonna become a cult classic among at least the fans of Hellboy here. And Alita, we'll be going over that movie. I admit I'm gonna want made another video in depth explain how Alita is definitely overperforming compared to other movies. Hellboy now gets his own video. I don't like the Hellboy movie that much, but the fans are probably gonna make sure this movie does at least decently at the home video market, already grossing $8 to $7 million already, and $8 million in like 2 weeks. And the DVD charts, Alita and Hellboy are basically neck to neck here on the DVD, and I bet I won't be surprised if Alita is barely out. It'll probably be at number 2 on the DVD charts because Hellboy and Alita were neck to neck here on this DVD charts here. Hellboy and Alita were basically neck to neck here on this chart here, but more people did buy the Blu-ray because the Blu-ray does and bought the 4K or the Blu-ray. They actually did update the sales prior for the 4K. They did that with Captain Marvel too. Captain Marvel had an update with the 4Ks included, 4K sales, and obviously the numbers went higher despite having a low amount of copies sold now, and because more people bought the 4K sales. And of course, Alita is doing pretty well internationally as well, but Hellboy is a different movie for most people, and Hellboy is not good at all. But it's selling way better than everybody expected it to. I was like, Hellboy is gonna flop. It's gonna sell like 60,000 copies first week or something like that. And obviously, Hellboy on the internet at least has a cult following. The creator of Hellboy obviously was correct. Hellboy is gonna get a cult following on the internet just because of how it's doing on the Blu-ray charts. It's actually doing better than Alita, but Hellboy did have a lower opening than Alita, and that was another thing. And it's definitely overperforming comparable to other movies like Ugly Dolls, which had a similar gross, and Overlord, which is definitely a similar gross. And if you could say it's grossing at least 2 times that of Overlord as well, and that's 2 times the average. So it's doing 2 times the average movie. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and goodbye.